Hi, welcome to part four. Yes, we're going to read a little bit extra, and I'm on the Chrome book again. This time, I'm not using the screencast, so I'm actually on the camera. So if you see the different in the screen, yes, there is a difference, but at least it can be paused. Let's start with the cosmic forces. That's what we left off on. See how tiny those words are? Yeah, these reading glasses do come in handy. Okay, the 11 cosmic forces. And we're going to work that one again. The first 11 cards of the deck are dedicated to the cosmic forces. In alchemy, each of the planets is assigned to a specific metal and its archetypal resonance and god. Saturn, for example, is linked with lead. Its inner and structuring forces, and the paternal archetype of the king and father. By extending our imagination beyond the earthly plane and into the far reaches of space, alchemy exercises our ability to see the interrelatedness of all things. Conversely, according to palm, like the palm of your hand, mystery, the energy of the planets is contained in specific parts of the hand. Certain gestures and mudras may be used to bring relationship with the planets into balance, weaving all of these themes together. The 11 cosmic forces cards contain images of hands. Yep, I've seen them. Emphasizing the areas of the palm and fingers associated with the planets, along with symbols of the corresponding metal. Whether or not you have a background in astrology, the cosmic forces cards deepen our readings and keep the alchemist humble and connected to the eternal. The four colors. Though there are four color cards, let's hold the book up there, so you can see that. You don't need to see me, just the book. They carry great significance in the alchemical process and require our earnest attention. Through these cards, we learn the alchemical language of color and its relationship to transformation. It is said the alchemist's eye becomes acutely aware of the infinite array of the spectrum. Why? Because colors tell us the state of vitality within our materials. Light green buds glisten on the tips of ancient pine boughs, marking themselves as the newest members of the tree without realizing it. We discern the precise ripeness of an apple by its subtle color shifts. Similarly, colors serve as an essential indicator of material changes and phases within alchemy, kind of like fall in the trees and the leaves changing colors. The primary colors of alchemy are black, white, yellow, and red. The alchemical story of these four colors leads us through the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, and it is therefore no coincidence they appear as the dominant colors of such great mystical symbols as the Native American medicine wheel and Tibetan mandala paintings. These cardinal colors represent the circular nature of the work, known in ancient Greek as melanosis, the darkening, or leucosis, the lightening, xanthosis, the yellowing, and iosis, the reddening. I have chosen to depict the color, according to the author. He has chosen to depict the color cards with a snake, as it is a universal symbol for the cyclo cyclical nature of transformation. There are two further points that must be made in relationship to the study of color. 1. The colors of the work are not hierarchical, but rather a continuous cycle of shifting information. Any assessment of one color as above or better than the other is not aligned with the fundamental alchemical axiom. Sounds familiar? Any color as above or better than the other? Hey, you can look at that as a race or a few races. So then they have those words here that it gives a breakdown. Okay, so quad est superius sicat, quod inferos. Those were the words. Meaning in parentheses, as above, so below. When the foolish alchemist is tempted by society to slip into a linear way of thinking, they will no doubt be pulled deeper into the spiraling work to study the origin of their longing to ascend above and separate from their fellow beings. The colors do their work naturally. It is their destiny to teach. 2. Since the colors exist in a circle much like Ouroboros, we may enter the work at any stage. Our beginning is not necessarily melanosis. And you might not have gotten that word, but it's still sticking with me as I read. So I'm going to spell it out. Ovroboros. So if you like to look it up, there it is. Start over with number 2. Since the colors exist in a circle much like the Ouroboros, we may enter the work at any stage. Our beginning is not necessarily melanosis. It may be the red, hot throes of anger and jealousy, or the pain of perfectionism about to crack its pristine facade. Our entry point is determined by our history, tendencies, and destiny. We do not know which color will bring us into the work. But once we are there, we become a grateful student of its wisdom. Thank you very much. What about the other colors? Well, there is much written in alchemical texts about the blue of the azure vault. Similarly, the rainbow is depicted in the emblem of the peacock's tail, indicating the ability to see diversity and the full spectrum of color in all things, like a kaleidoscope to honor these images while staying true to the four color stages of alchemy. He has grouped the azure vault and peacock's tail into the cards. that make up the 22 mysteries. May the color cards serve as tonal guides to our studies, providing a mood or atmosphere that breaks open to us an entire spectrum of relationships. What was those colors? Black, white, red, and yellow. The four seasons. What do the seasons have to do with alchemy? The answer is twofold. First, the seasons are nature's tangible and universal expression of one of the most advanced alchemical concepts, time. Through the seasons, we sense the passage of time and see its effect on the world. We come to trust we are still orbiting the sun. What stage of development are we at in this moment when considering the mythic arc of our lives? We must come to know what season we are in. Hopefully, you didn't hear all of that background noise. Okay, the window's closed. And we must come to know what season we are in. Is our romantic relationship in its winter months, or are we frolicking spring lovers? Neither is good or bad, both contain secret boons and complexities. Now, reading this, that wasn't received by me. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. So let's do that again. Hmm. When considering the mythic arc of our lives, we must come to know what season we are in. Stop. Is our romantic relationship in its winter months? Stop. Or are we frolicking spring lovers? Whatever that means. Stop. Neither is good or bad. Both contain secret boons and complexities. Okay, so it still reads the same. The seasons cards take us to a numinous space where we can observe where we reside on the cosmic seasonal storyline. Awesome. Second, the season cards remind us that alchemy is continually happening on a cosmical level. These cards reorient us to observe the alchemy of Mother Earth and to witness where she is in her story arc. That's different. She is the grand expression of the work. When appearing in a reading, the season's cards may indicate when certain themes will play out in relationship to her seasonal story. The 22 materials. That's and the 22 mysteries. The 22 materials. Though the 22 material cards, okay, through the 22 material cards, we strengthen our relationship with the full range of substances in the alchemist study or studio. Yeah, you can make your studio anything you want. Mm. We step out of the intellect and into the experimental qualities of the physical realm, whether gooey, slippery, light, smooth, cold, or dense. We may know the difference between ash and glass, yet what qualities do they share? Can we discern iron from copper, salt from sulfur? Delving wholeheartedly into cards awakens our senses to the fantastical world of the alchemist. Every material is a metaphor, a teacher, a sage. The magic is in the delicate nuances belonging to that substance, and the responses conjured within us. Does it boil or sting, spill or shatter? We could study one of these materials for an entire lifetime and still there would be more to learn. The materials card bring atmosphere and tone to a reading since their qualities can be felt so tangibly they cast a mood on all cards present. When the ash card appears, imagine it as a thin layer that's fallen over the entire reading. Something from the past must be addressed. When the iron card appears, it's as if the table you're sitting at becomes heavy and serious. From where does the rigidity originate? Let yourself be swept away by the qualities of these cards, and in turn, you'll awaken the material richness all around you. Interesting. Yeah, me wanted to go back and look at that. They cast mood on all cards and present and present. The 22 materials. Okay. The 22 mysteries. Perhaps the most exciting and challenging part of creating this deck was selecting which cards to include as part of the 22 mysteries. So, the author, I began a list of 88 concepts taken from various alchemical engravings and texts and eventually narrowed the list to what you find here. Alchemy overflows with images that summon the imagination and symbolize certain aspects of transformation. The two mysteries cannot be explained and understood in one sitting, or even in many. This container, if you haven't caught the other ones, caught my attention. And I was kind of drawn to it. It may have been, don't remember seeing any other ones sitting there like this, just this one. That's the one that came home. That is the oracle one they were going over. So the 22 mysteries cannot be explained and understood in one sitting or even in many. They have lasted through the centuries precisely because they are complex and generative. A practitioner could study the image of the golden rose for an entire year and still be left with petals unventured, unturned. Unventured was my word. This is because the 22 mysteries are alive. They shift and change and does everything in the laboratory. Think of these cards as mystical teachings in and of themselves. Each could serve as the beginning of a research project, a poem, a painting, or a performance, or be used as a focal point for contemplation or meditation. These cards rise to the surface as if from a dream, follow their lead and don't give up. Hmm, interesting. Do they talk to you? Stop. Okay. Yeah, they seem very interesting. But from what it seems like there's something always there that's seen for the cards. The operations are the most powerful cards of the Alchemy deck, and this is the 8 operations. Similar to the major arcana in the tarot deck, they represent the overriding principles that determine the greater archetypal story at hand. These operations are very heart and soul of the alchemy work. They are the aims, whether conscious or unconscious, of the work itself. Through them, we determine why the alchemist has come to the studio in the first place, and was it to weld 2 pieces of metal together or to chip away at something little by little. The operations are universal truths. Therefore, they allow us to understand the forces of change without taking them personally. Like the acorn falling from the oak, everyone must undergo separation from their parents in order to become their full self. The truth cannot be held against the child or the parents. It is studying separation in nature and culture allows us then to see the benevolent intelligence pulsing within everyone, every one of the operations. We come to witness the sacred in the mundane, the magical regeneration of mortification in a neighbor's compost pile. The operations are everywhere, the spinning gears of the universe. Our goal as divine alchemists is to become aware of them and trust their higher wisdom. Through these 8 cards, all other cards can be understood. We should really look at those 8 cards. The 8 alchemical operations. And it looks like a bowl of food in the middle. It's kind of funny because, oh yeah, someone was thinking of alchemy in the kitchen, cooking and baking, making your own meal design, and enjoying it because that's what you like. Using the deck, as is the case. And then we got some blue words in here. Yep. And we will bring in the flashlight for those dark blue words. Meanwhile, we will flash this to you also. Hold on. Now you might ask, why does she say we? Isn't she the only one there reading? Don't be silly. We're never alone. Get it? We're never alone. As using the deck. As is the case of all the wild unknown decks, the alchemy deck can be used as an educational tool, as a source of inspiration and creativity, or as an oracle deck in readings. There's no wrong or right way to use the cards, as they are doorways leading you deeper into the work. Though these cards can certainly be used in combination with other decks, the hex shaped cards lend themselves to interlocking formations unique to this deck. They are special cards and can be used for learning, just learning, just the learning experience. Yes. Take note of how the edges of the hexes come in contact with each other. It's water touching fire. Is water touching fire or is winter touching glass? Alchemy is about relationships and responses and paying close attention to the cards that touch will add deeper meaning to your readings. I'm looking at how this light is flashing on the scene. Okay. What's in the light? Did you get that picture? Okay. Opening. So there is a box inside of a nice little carrier. And those that haven't seen the cards, that's one. See the shape. There is a lot of art in there. Oh, yes. And it's something else to try to shuffle. Not shuffling like regular cards, that's for sure. I've tried. Unless you have big hands, may make a better difference, but then so are the same for the other cards. I've seen them take all of the cards and shuffle them, and they're just shuffling like it's not a problem. But these hands are like, how do you spread across this and hold on to these cards so they all don't fall? The essence, a single card reading. Okay. After many years of working with the tarot and oracle, I'm to get the best light angle here. Is there one? Okay. And the oracle cards, single card readings remain his favorite. Speaking for the author, of course, because they're not my favorite. I don't know ya, but it's a nice experience and something to look forward to getting something from. Why not? Single card readings remain his favorite. Contemplating one card increases the chances of becoming intimate with the card's deeper meaning and with the self. Here he offers three phases of engagement with the single card readings. Take your pick and enjoy the ride. Variations welcome. Phase 1. Sit for a few moments. Let a question rise from your heart. You may be looking for the answer to a specific query or for general guidance. Either is fine. Repeat your question while you shuffle the cards, eventually closing your eyes and allowing the cards to rest in your hands. Stop. This sounds like speaking to your higher self and just waiting and getting the answer. Doing it through the cards is just another way, but Let's get back to the book. Let a single card attract your fingers. As you open your eyes, focus on the card in front of you. Reflect on the image, word, symbols for a few moments before reading the definition in the guidebook. So listen to this part again if that helps you. But it is pretty much the same as you might call it a prayer and hearing the answer in a literal sense of hearing. But when you get to that point, but it's the same. However, if you want to have fun with the cards, it's something different. Yeah. Focus on the card in front of you. Reflect on the image, word, and symbols for a few moments before reading the definition in the guidebook. Pause. Pause and write down or consider what has been revealed. Avoid the temptation to pick up a different card. There, avoid the temptation to pick up a different card. There is information for you within the card that caused your fingers to be drawn to it. This one said caused your fingers to be drawn to it. Most of the time they were dropping cards when I was watching them do it. However, when I was playing with the cards, there were some that was like had motion and feeling to them. What? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You gotta roll with it. If you don't believe it, why are you here? Phase 2. In the morning, as close to awakening as possible, ask a question and pick a single card. Using the method described in Phase 1, sit with the card for a few minutes, observing the art and the feelings that are summoned. When reading the guidebook description, underline a few words that resonate with you. Set the card and book aside and go about your day, recalling the concept when you can revisit it again before bed and see if its meaning has deepened. Before bed, as close to sleeping as possible, sit or lie in silence, ask for guidance from the cards. You may ask a particular question if you wish. Keep the cards by your bedside and write upon waking. Choose a single card following the steps mentioned in Phase 1. Seems like the same thing, just using cards. Keep the card with you on your altar for the next 2 to 3 days, interacting with it in non creative ways that feel right to you. And for advanced practitioners, this work can be extended to 1 week or even 1 month. Perhaps begin this practice on the new full moon or another day that is special to you. It is important to complete this work by putting the card back into the deck and offering your thanks. And we're going to stop there. It's been about 34 minutes. But thank you. Hope it didn't bounce too much, but it's a reading. Have a great day. See you in part 4. Oh, this is for 5.